Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie and this is Unity Consciousness. Today we're going to be discussing the energy that will be prominent this week beginning tomorrow actually, which is Sunday the 28th of March, and getting up and through next weekend, Saturday, which I believe is the 3rd of April. So let's get started. There's a full moon tomorrow that I want to bring to the forefront of everyone's consciousness and discuss the ramifications of that full moon and the manner in which you can use it to your advantage. So you may be starting to feel this energy in advance of the full moon, which is why I'm going to go ahead and publish this video today, which is Saturday. But so that if this energy is starting to creep into your reality, that you'll have an understanding of what's going on and again, how you can use it to your advantage. So tomorrow brings a full moon in Libra at 8 degrees, 18 minutes. What makes it interesting is it is a full supermoon, so that means it's close to the Earth, so it'll be a large moon in size in the sky as well. But it's also connecting with Sun, Venus, and Chiron. So of course, because it is a full moon, that means that the sun is at the opposite end of the sky, and the sun is visiting with Venus and Chiron. So full moons illuminate areas that we need to focus on and allow us also the strength and ability to focus on whatever that is that we need to be reviewing, but also give us the power to move past it, to understand its meaning, and then move forward with a new beginning. The new moon that had occurred a couple of weeks ago, you may see a culmination of an intention that was set at that time. But this moon is very important to me and very meaningful to the collective because of the configuration and the connection with Sun and Venus and Chiron. As we all know, Venus is responsible for relationships and money. And Chiron is the wounded healer. It's an asteroid that signifies the wounded healer or healing or old wounds that need to be healed. So what does that mean when all of these, the planets and this asteroid are having this conversation in the sky beginning tomorrow? Like I said, you may be feeling this energy in advance. It has to do with relationships and money. Because this full moon occurs on the Libra Aries axis, there's also going to be personal aspects as well as the collective. Aries being me and that aggressive or assertive energy, and then Libra, all the fairness associated with that. So your own personal struggles relative to wanting to speak your truth and speak your mind, but also weighing the outcome and the manner in which you want to make this adjustment so that it's fair for all involved, which is the Libra side of things. So again, we've got the sun that's going to bring in, it's going to shine light on things. So you expect to witness some epiphanies, some things that need to be healed in your past. You may have some sudden insight that comes from wherever. But it's sudden insight that's going to allow you to manage and deal with these other things that are cropping up at the time of the full moon. So knowing is going to be important. The sun is going to help us see something very clearly so that we have an epiphany and want to have the ability to change the direction that we're in. So again, the Chiron portion of this, the asteroid aspects, closing out so that we can create space that is more attuned to us, that's a more balanced relationship. So if you've had one-sided relationships where it feels like either you're all in and your partner may not, or your partner may be all in and you're not, it's time to address those issues, or you're being asked to address the issues, and you're given the tools that are necessary so that can be done in a very fair and balanced way. These can be relationships that you thought were for the betterment or for your good, when in fact it really isn't, which is where those epiphanies come in. It's innocent mistakes. It's innocent mistakes. Of course, no one goes into a relationship thinking to themselves that, boy, I can't wait for this to just completely fall apart. No, we engage in relationships, even that with ourselves, in an innocent way. And it's now time to extrapolate those lessons from that relationship, especially if it's imbalanced or one-sided, so that we can heal whatever it is that's cropping up within us that needs to be healed. Again, that Chiron aspect, so that we can heal that once and for all. We can shut the door on stale and outdated relationships that no longer support us. And then Venus is also going to usher in more aligned, healthy relationships into our environment. We will also, because Libra's involved here, we are going to have significant problem-solving strategies and methodologies. You'll have a knowledge or a greater understanding of how you want to deal with the issues that are in your relationship. So it's a very, like I said, there may be some tension surrounding this full moon, but you will have the tools necessary if you choose to step out of that fear-based 3D reality. If you trust that this is happening, again, 5D trust, you're trusting that this is happening so that you can ascend to a higher level of relationships. And as I mentioned, these relationships could be work, they could be your significant other, or it even could be with yourself. And if you're having this discussion with yourself, trying to resolve long-standing hurt and pain that could have manifested in this lifetime in a very significant way, be kind to yourself, speak kind to yourself, and understand that you too are a person, and there's no derogatory comments when you're having a healthy situation that's going to bring you resolve in the long run. Again, this full moon in the supportive energy is giving us the power to close out and heal for good some relationships that are out of balance in our lives. So it's huge. That's big. And again, you may be starting to feel some of these aspects cropping up over the past few days, or they could be cropping up until the time of the next new moon, which happens to be, I believe, on the 11th of April in Taurus. So if you're not feeling it yet, and you certainly don't feel it tomorrow, just be aware that in the coming week or two, you may begin to feel this. Review the video, get your tool belt out, and apply effective tools that are respectful to yourself and anyone else that you're dealing with in this relationship. And be mindful of that. Be mindful of equality and patience and equilibrium and fairness. That's all Libra. So then on Monday, in order to continue this full moon energy, Monday we've got Sun and Chiron are aligning in Aries. We've already talked about Sun, we've already talked about Chiron. They're actually aligning in Aries. So what does that mean? That's going to give us the courage. So if we didn't have the courage on Monday, we are going to have the courage. It's going to give us what we need. The Sun is going to activate us for the purpose of healing and give us the courage that we need to stand in our reality and a sense of purpose with openness and honesty to resolve the issue once and for all, so that new, better, more aligned relationships can come into your reality. Then later in the day on Monday, which is the 29th, Mercury is going to align with Neptune. It's a much easier aspect. Mercury is all about communications, and Neptune, as we know, is it governs Pisces, so it is going to be metaphysics, intuition, but also you've got to be careful here of any deceit that may be cropping in. So again, we're going to have the courage to face our fears earlier in the day, and then later in the day, as Mercury aligns with Neptune, we will have the tension will begin to ease a bit, but we're going to be able to apply our intuition to those issues and problems that may have cropped up in the last 24 to 48 hours. So we will be able to dig deep, look inside, address our intuition, and then be able to use it to our advantage to solve the problems at hand. Also, your communications can be filled with illusions. So whether you're telling yourself something or you're having communications with someone else for the purpose of resolving these communication issues, be mindful of deceit, because we also know that when it comes to Neptune, there could be some illusion or deceit associated with those communications. So just trust your gut, trust your intuition. When you're listening, when you're processing those communications, listen for the purpose of hear, but also trust your gut and your intuition as you receive that information. Then finally, on Saturday, next Saturday, which I believe is the 3rd of April, Mercury enters Aries. So Mercury, again, is communications. And it's going to be there till the 19th of April. Aries is very assertive energy, so please be mindful of any hasty decisions or hasty communications, and not being mindful of weighing those options. When you're forced with a decision, make sure it's not a knee-jerk reaction to something, that it's a very well thought out plan. Also, your assertive communications, be mindful of your words, be mindful of the environment that you're speaking in, and make sure that there is some compassion that's shared at that time. You may have communications or thoughts or ideas that are spontaneous or uncommon as well. It may give you the ability to rethink something and apply a different strategy to it. So it is very will be very helpful later on that day to assess situations, be mindful of it, grasp that energy that comes from Aries that is very assertive, but using our words wisely for the purpose of achieving a result. Being assertive when we need to be, but also balance that with compassion. Well, that's all that I have for you today. I hope you have a fabulous week. Again, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you know when the videos are being dropped. If you have any questions, please make sure post them in the comment box below, and I will be checking them over the course of the week, and we'll get back with you as soon as I possibly can. If you find yourself being overwhelmed with any of this energy, relationships are difficult. We know this, even the one with ourselves. Always remember, self-care is very important. Take a breath, deep breathe. Remain heart-centered. Always show compassion to yourself and others, no matter the circumstance. It will benefit you in the long run. Sometimes compassion means closing the door and moving on. That can also be compassion. Just do it from a heart-centered energy, not knee-jerk reactions. And be mindful. Trust your intuition this week. It won't lead you astray. Thank you so much. Again, have a fabulous day. Namaste.